Click the bell, turn on all notifications, and subscribe for around-the-clock WWE news in real time. The home of the most consistent and dedicated breaking news in WWE, Seanzviewent, is here for you. Like, comment, and share today.
For many of you that are going to be watching this video, you may just be waking up, you may be just getting up, you may be just smelling the coffee, you may be getting out the eggs, the bacon, the ham. I mean, breakfast goes to what, 11 o'clock at McDonald's? I mean, by the time you watch this video, maybe you've already woken up, maybe you're at work, maybe you're at school, maybe you're drooling, maybe you're fooling, or have we fooled ourselves? Because a lot of people thought that WrestleMania was good, some thought it was mediocre, and some thought it could have been a hell of a lot better. But we're not here to talk about WrestleMania because we already talked about WrestleMania. We already reviewed it. For those of you that didn't see it, go check out my videos prior to this one because we all know that I upload multiple videos a day, and it's so important to become a channel member today to help keep me on YouTube. Now, I can't do this alone. I can't do this by myself. I need the help and the support of each and every one of you to make this dream possible because we all know the hustle, the loyalty, the blood, the sweat, the tears that I put into this. The emotion, the energy, the passion, it all comes through the screen to each and every one of you because that's what I mean. No, what I want to do is I want to get your review, your thoughts, your comments, your view, because your view is the only view that matters. What did you think of last night's Monday Night Raw? We always go over Raw the same night or the very next morning on Tuesday morning. And I want your review. And again, we do it by the weather report. Was it sunny? Was it drizzly? Was it hot? Was it a scorcher? What was Monday Night Raw to all of you last night? I felt it was the Raw of the year. Probably one of the better Raws after WrestleMania because we all know it's the most shocking, it's the most prevailing, it's the most unpredictable Monday Night Raw of the year. Have no fear. My opinion, again, your view is the only view that matters, but I felt like the WWE tore it up. I felt like the WWE really kicked it up a notch. The WWE really spiced it up. Hell, some might say that last night's Monday Night Raw was actually better than WrestleMania, especially better than Night 1. Okay, that's what a lot of people are saying. That's what a lot of people are thinking. That's what a lot of people are describing online, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters, and fans that actually tuned in and watched Monday Night Raw last night. The world was watching, and boy, was there a lot of unpredictable moments. Boy, there was some shocks. There was some eye-opening moments last night on Monday Night Raw, but again, we put you in position. We put you in the driver's seat. We put the pedal to the metal. You put the gas pedal on. What did you think of last night's Monday Night Raw? Again, viewers, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe what I was getting. That was a very creative, that was a very, unparalleled Monday Night Raw. Now, usually when WrestleMania season is all said and done, the WWE seemingly just goes through the motions and like, oh, well, it's not WrestleMania season. Now we don't have to put in an effort. Now we really don't have to try. Now we can just let it fry. But no, you got to let it sizzle. You got to let it sizzle. You still got to let Monday Night Raw cook. You have to make sure that you give the fans that interest. And, you saw Randy Orton hit an RKO. You saw WWE announcers, Michael Cole, get taken out. You saw Gunther go absolutely crazy and wild. Now, let me tell you something. If I'm booking this thing, if I'm in charge of creative and I'm giving up my ideas and putting pen to paper, here's what the brash and the brazen would do. Since Gunther is going crazy, he's going nuts, he can't believe he lost the world title, he's hearing all these people, all the dictators and all the people saying, all the skeptics, oh, I tapped out, I can't get the job done, I always fail at WrestleMania. What I would do is if Gunther attacked the announcers, he attacked Pat McAfee, he took out Pat McAfee, he attacked Michael Cole. Next week I have him come out and attack a fan, whether it's a planter at ringside, a planted fan or whatever. Maybe not the fan just yet. Maybe have him, attack some of the backstage crew, okay? Then the next week after that, he attacks a fan. And then the next week after that, but in the middle of this, it's like, all right, is he going to be suspended? Is he going to be fined? The first thing I would do, I would fine him. Fine him, I don't know, $120,000 each for attacking both the announcers. And then after that, like you said, he attacks the ring crew or the backstage crew. Then he attacks a referee. I mean, each week I would have Gunther going on this rampage, not attacking wrestlers, not attacking superstars, but attacking the backstage crew. So, that sets up, just Gunther obviously, can't stand it. He can't take the pressure. He can't take the fact that people are in the background and they're all, saying you tapped out and, you've lost it. And, well, he really has lost. I mean, Gunther at this point, after losing the World Championship in the manner that he did, has went postal. He has absolutely lost it. So I think they got a good thing here going with Gunther, because a lot of people thought, oh, Gunther's going to get lost in the shuffle. They're not going to do anything with Gunther. They're going to lose focus. They're going to lose traction on Gunther. Well, obviously, after what Gunther did last night, they are not going to lose any importance, because Gunther is very up high on the totem pole. And, of course, you can't forget what happened during the end. A new Paul Heyman guy on Monday Night Raw. Oh, my God. That really is going to bring you into the next week. The only problem that I had with this Monday Night Raw, and it was great. I think it was an 8 out of 10. I think it was easily 8 out of 10 stars last night for Raw. But, however, the only thing, you got 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. Why is it that you only get John Cena and Randy Orton one time out of that whole 3 hours? You only get them one time out of that entire 3 hours. Why? Why couldn't we've had a follow-up with John Cena backstage looking for Randy Orton, trying to find Randy Orton, or, I don't know. They just should have been. I just don't like the fact that the WWE, they utilize, the main event guys in the first hour of Raw, or the third hour, or whatever, the second hour, whatever it may be. I am not a fan of WWE just showing off the main event guys at the top of the hour, and then that's it. There's no follow-up. There's no follow-through. There's no edge of your seat between, as my cat's going wide. Even my cat thinks that as great, as good, as strong, and as solid as Monday Night Raw was last night, John Cena should have, he was been laid out. I mean, John Cena has been laid out now for the last several weeks. John Cena has been laid out either by Cody Rhodes with a Crossroads, and now this week by Randy Orton. Again, Cena, and I'm not saying it had to be anything blockbuster or big. The magnitude didn't have to be massive, but at least give an update, showcase Cena and Orton. But I guess we'll get that follow-up next week, and you'll get 20 minutes out of it, and then you won't see no Orton or Cena for the next 2 hours of the show. But be that as of may, we go into our next pivotal update, viewers, fans, and subscribers. WWE already, and this is big backstage updates. We give you the most update, the most influential, the most in-depth, the most detailed WWE news from backstage in real time as it happens. WWE already had Joe Hendry in motion for WrestleMania before Kevin Owens' injury went public, which is very, very interesting. Now remember, Kevin Owens could be sidelined for 1 up to 2 years. WWE SmackDown, Blue Brand USA Network, the final SmackDown before WrestleMania, which was last week. We got pivotal updates. Sees a massive increase as Cody Rhodes stands tall over John Cena. The viewership, the ratings, the attendance saw, again, massive increases in the ratings and the viewership for the Blue Brand of SmackDown. With Braun Breaker revealing himself as the new Paul Heyman guy along Seth Rollins, is this now going to be called the new crew? No, the new crew. No, it needs to be a little bit more creative, a little bit more captivating. Has to sound a hell of a lot better than that. Is this going to be all part of the new plan, the Dangerous Alliance? I kind of like this. I'm kind of for it. I think, these guys almost kind of feels like, a throwback to the two-man power trip when Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin joined forces as a tag team. We all remember that, and it got cut short, Austin and Triple H's team did, because Triple H came down with an injury. We'll never know how that would have wound up. We would have never known how that would have ended up at the end of the day. But I do like this Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins. I never imagined these two together. I never even really thought of those two being together, but This could work, guys. This could definitely work. Also, we saw returns last night, one of them being J.D. McDonough helped Dominic Mysterio secure a victory and overcome the odds of Penta. And I think Penta, for the first time in singles competition, actually lost. And with Gunther going berserk on Monday Night Raw last night, where does Gunther go from here? Well, obviously, he is not going to disappear. And who else thought that Sami Zayn was going to turn last night? Who else thought that Sami Zayn was going to go heel? Who else thought last night that Sami Zayn was going to turn a blind eye to Jey Uso? I know, I almost felt it. It almost looked like at a moment or two that Sami Zayn was going to turn. But instead, no, they celebrated. The celebration was on for the new world champion. And what did you think about Rusev making his return after 5 years away? Rusev is back in the thick of things on the Red Brand of Raw on Netflix. And hey, did you notice Raw almost went 3 hours last night? Monday Night Raw was almost 3 hours last night, which it should always be in a Raw that was that captivating and with a Raw that was that exciting. Yes, Raw had that energy. And then Becky Lynch turned heel. Becky Lynch, I mean, there was a lot of developments. There was a lot of things that went down on this Raw tonight that should interest you and excite you to watch Raw the next week, because it's always about bringing the viewers in to the next week. Hell, it's about bringing viewers in from 1 hour to the next to the next. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to bring it down right now. And as exciting, as prevailing, as compelling as all that news and rumors was, we also have to announce, ladies and gentlemen, a massive death in the world of professional wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, according to those in the know, the wrestling world is mourning the loss of referee Devin Anderson. The news was confirmed by several independent promotions, including Dreamwave, AAW, 2 Second Wrestling, and 2 Ekin Wrestling, and Windy City Slam. Ref Dev worked with numerous organizations across the region and was recognized for his professionalism and dedication. Of course, his passion showed through. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers. Another death that is rocking the world of WWE because it is a WWE death. The former president of the WWE made it to a grand old age of 90. Our thoughts and our prayers go out to the former president of the WWE from years and years ago. But we always remember those that paved the way, that laid the way, that set the groundwork, whether it be a wrestler, whether it be a talent, whether it be a president, an owner, a GM, whatever it may be, we recognize them because this is the place to be. Ladies and gentlemen, it all comes down to your thoughts, your comments, your opinions. It all comes down to your emotions. And boy, is there a lot of emotions going in WWE right now. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers, last but certainly not least, with John Cena's next challenger for the undisputed title being Randy Orton, and knowing that John Cena only has 27 dates left, will John Cena lose in his first title defense against the Viper at Backlash in Randy Orton's home away from home? Subscribe. Plenty more to come hourly in WWE.